with the 4th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Indianapolis Colts have selected Anthony Richardson. So, it's a big risk. High risk, high reward. But when you are in the same conference as Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Justin Herbert, and if Deshaun Watson comes back strong, you have him. You have so many incredible quarterbacks and teams that you just have to go through to make it to the divisional, to make it to the conference, just to get to the Super Bowl. And the Colts understand that. They understand that they have to go all or nothing. And Anthony Richardson has the highest ceiling in this draft, and it's not even close. But he has the highest risk factor. I'd like to welcome you guys to the JDW Sports Talk Show, where we fans welcome. If you enjoy Colts football and NFL content, this is the place for you. We're going to talk about the rest of the draft picks throughout the weekend. So, you want my thoughts, Colts analysis, this is the place for you. I promise you won't regret it. So, Anthony Richardson, when you hear his name called, you're like, okay, it's not Will Levis. Chris Ballard going to Will Levis's meetings, to his workouts, all smoke, because Chris Ballard knew who we wanted for quite some time. We had someone down in Florida watching the practices, and he talks to Chris Ballard. I think it was Miracle Brown or something, the assistant GM. He goes to Chris Ballard, man, this guy's special. You should see this. And, there are reports that have come out that Chris Ballard knew who he was picking. He knew who he was picking for the last month. He made his decision. And I know at the end here and kind of at the beginning of the season, I'm like, Will Levis is probably the guy. No, more so is the end when we know where we're drafting. I'm like, and a lot of us are probably like, oh, it's probably going to be Will Levis at 4. And then I kind of made the switch to Anthony Richardson. Let's go Richardson. Let's go all or nothing. And then I kind of came back to Will Levis, which I don't know why I did that. I guess you just get bored talking about the same player and you just think about the same player a lot. And then you want to change it a little bit. And I guess that's what I did. Don't know why I changed it, but Anthony Richardson, man. I am so excited for Anthony Richardson. High risk, high reward. He has a cannon for an arm. He has phenomenal traits. It's not just yeah, he's raw, but one thing that I say a lot that I've heard someone else say, don't remember who, I think it was Mel Kiper, someone like that. I think Chris Ballard said this as well. Talent determines the floor. Character determines the ceiling. And Anthony Richardson's character is out of this world. He's humble. He's confident. He loves what he's doing. And he's a hard worker. He'd be a great leader. I absolutely love what he brings to the table. And if you watch a tape, he has good pocket awareness. He knows how to maneuver that pocket. And he has a cannon. As we talked about, as you've heard, he has a cannon. And, also, so much less stressful now that the search is over, baby. The search is over for a quarterback. For now. Is Anthony Richardson the guy for the next 10 years? I hope so. I freaking hope so. He's big. What are you measuring at? 6'4", 230 some pounds. He's big. Yet he ran an incredibly fast 40 time. Broke the record for quarterbacks at the combine. Oh, his traits. He does need to work on his accuracy. If you look at his production in Florida, let's go through his production in Florida, okay? His production isn't out of this world, and he hasn't really played much, to be honest. Played 13 games. Let's see. He played 13 games, right? Not a lot of experience. That's one of the big knocks on him. And when you're coming out, it seems like the quarterbacks with the most experience usually translate well and translate faster. But I'm pretty sure, it's just Richardson has to come in and play. I know I've said, but listening to them talk yesterday on the NFL Network saying that Richardson needs to come in and play just because of how raw he is, you can't really let him sit. He needs to play. And I'm interested to see if he's going to start week 1. I think he will. I could see Chris Ballard and Shane Steichen just saying go for it. Because he needs experience. He needs to play. He has a lot to learn, and the only way he's going to get better is through experience. And of all coaches that I would be most confident in coaching Anthony Richardson, it's Shane Steichen. He worked with Phillip Rivers. He was a quarterback coach for Justin Herbert when he won his Rookie of the Year, and he helped Jalen Hurts have the best year of his career, ultimately bringing Jalen Hurts over $50 million a year. Ultimately bringing Jalen Hurts his big contract, bringing him to the Super Bowl. And now he has a guy in Anthony Richardson, 6'4", weighing at 244 pounds. Cannon for an arm. Accuracy needs to be worked on, but I think that's more of a mechanical issue. I think if he gets his mechanics down, which Shane Steichen is going to have no problem helping him with that, Richardson has so much upside. This is so freaking exciting. And if you look at his numbers, right, 13 starts. We've already talked about before. It's not ideal to have a quarterback coming out of college with only 13 starts. They just haven't panned out. A lot of them don't. And you look at his completion percentage, it's 54.7. That's rough. But if you look at his adjusted completion percentage and you take into consideration of how bad his receivers were in Florida, maybe it helps the case a little bit. But that completion percentage is going to need to come up. Passing yards in his career, 3,105. 13 starts. I mean, I guess it's not horrible, really, though. I mean, it's not great. 24 touchdowns he threw to 15 interceptions in 2022 when he played 13 games. When he started in 12 games, actually. 17 touchdowns to 9 interceptions. His rating was 131.1. That's interesting. His attempts, 103 attempts. No, his rushing, he had 103 in 2022. He had 103 attempts, 654 yards, and 9 touchdowns. Having a quarterback that is mobile, that can run a lot, you have a lot more patience with him. They have a better chance of, getting more time. It buys them time, because if the quarterback can't really move, it just doesn't buy them time. They don't have as much time to figure it out. If a guy like Brock Purdy didn't do it right away, they wouldn't care. But if you see a guy like Justin Fields, he was a horrible passer last year. Horrible passer. I mean, he didn't really have a phenomenal team around him. But at the end of the day, he's got to improve. He didn't have a lot of passing yards. I don't even know if he threw for 200 yards once. He might have. But I know he didn't have a lot of passing yards at all, and he struggled to pass the ball, struggled to get production. Yeah, his receivers didn't help, but at the end of the day, he's a quarterback, and he's going to figure it out. And even with the worst of weapons, you've seen a lot of quarterbacks just put yards out on that field, a lot of yards. But that's off the topic. Point is, when a quarterback can run and is lethal on the ground, buys him so much more time to learn how to throw the football. And is Anthony Richardson a 1,000-yard rusher in a season? I could see it. Absolutely. He's fast. He's big. He's impressive. Can you imagine Anthony Richardson and Johnathan Taylor in the same backfield? You're going to see me smiling. You're going to see a ton of Colts fans talking about it. We're excited, man. This is the beginning of a new era. Hopefully a fun era. A good one. Welcome to Indianapolis, Anthony Richardson. Let's hope you come in, kill it. This is JDW. If you enjoy this video, make sure to like, subscribe, with the post notification bell on. If you enjoy this video, make sure to like, subscribe, with the post notification bell on. So you don't miss any future videos. It's JDW Sports Talk Show. Signing off.